I've got a letter today from a young man who could not have sex with his beautiful girlfriend. He did some research, he connected the dots, and he realized he was dealing with porn-induced erectile dysfunction, and he did something about it. Hey Noah, I wanted to thank you for the great work that you do for men struggling with porn addiction and your effort to raise awareness of porn-induced sexual dysfunction. I discovered your channel early on in my journey, and your success stories and motivational content was a huge help to me. Here's my story. I'm 18, about to turn 19. I was first exposed to porn young, around age 10. It was something that I was aware of and knew that I enjoyed watching, but was far too young to understand what any of it meant. I was right there with you. I was probably 9 or 10 years old when I first encountered porn too, online. And unfortunately, that's the common adolescent experience now. And it might be a little bit later, it might be age 13, 15. It could be younger too. I've worked with clients who was age 5, age 6. But the producers of porn, the people making pornography, don't care that kids are watching it. They don't care that you as a child got hooked on this digital drug and now it's affecting your life and your relationship in negative ways. They don't care. The purveyors of porn, they actively want children, and this is my belief, they actively want children to be consuming their content. They want to get kids hooked young. Just like the tobacco industry, they wanted kids to start using their products so they'd be customers for life. That's just how the world and business works. That's where the incentives are. Get them hooked young, get a customer for life. Your parents, they care, I'm sure, but they don't know enough to prepare you or to educate you or to help you. Your society, our society, failed you as a child. I'm sorry for that. It wasn't until I hit puberty, around age 14, that I became a regular user. I would masturbate to porn on a daily basis in the following years, up until about 3 months ago. In these years, I had a few sexual partners, but we never really attempted intercourse for whatever reason. Yeah, the growth of porn habits can feel slow as it's happening, but in retrospect, it happens rather quickly. I was looking back, I had escalated to consuming extreme content that was disturbing to me, but that I had come to rely on to get aroused by the age of 12 or 13 years old. It happened fast. A couple of years when you're a kid feels like a long time, but in retrospect, it happens fast. It gets a hold of you and it changes your brain. It changes your personality, your sexuality, your desires rather quickly. And it's difficult to know as it's happening because as a kid, when most of us first find porn, we're going through so many changes anyway. We're going through puberty. We're going through adolescence. Change is normal during that time. So it's difficult to parse out which of these changes are happening because I'm a compulsive consumer of porn. About 3 months ago, I met a girl, my now girlfriend, and we were really into each other. We were hanging out a lot and things started heating up. One thing led to another and we go to do the deed, but I'm limp. I can't get it up at all. We decide to just keep making out. After we finish, I'm extremely embarrassed and feel emasculated. I apologize and she asks me if it's her. I reassure her it's not and told her I'm going to figure out what's wrong with me. After this experience, I became aware of the NoFap community and PIED through obsessive research. I get a gut feeling it has to be this. I'm very glad there's enough truth, information, stories out there that people like you who are in that situation can now find real guidance and an actual path forward to overcome the problem that you're dealing with. The porn industry may have victimized you and society may have failed you, but there are some of us out here who want the best for you, who want you to succeed. It's also worth mentioning, I was smoking weed near daily at the time too. I decided to quit both cold turkey. I began to prioritize my health. I started working out 3 times a week, eating a balanced diet focusing on whole foods, always staying hydrated and protecting my 8 hours of sleep every night. I've gotten in great shape the past few months. That's awesome, man. Yeah, I often see one's stopping of their porn use and going through that recovery journey is a keystone change in their life that causes this cascade of other positive changes. Those skills that you learn when needing to stop an addiction or compulsive use of porn are skills that you can apply to bettering yourself, developing healthy habits in every single aspect of your life. And you also start to believe a different story about yourself. You start to believe that you are worthy of the work that you're putting in to overcome porn. You start to feel better about yourself, less at war with yourself. There aren't these hidden dark hours of your day that you want to keep secret from the people who love you. So you feel unified and whole and more confident. And all of that can bundle together into an entire life reboot. Me and my girl had multiple experiences like the one I just detailed, but I didn't tell her about NoFap and PIED until about a month into the detox. I wanted to have progress to show, so she knew that I really meant it when I said that I'd figure out what the issue was. When I told her, she was upset but very supportive. She said that she loved that I was honest with her and taking initiative to change. But if I ever relapsed, she'd be hurt. I promised her that I wouldn't, and I haven't so far in my journey. I don't intend to. Hey, congratulations on having the courage to talk to her, to open up and to be vulnerable and honest. It takes a lot of guts to do that, especially if no one else in your life you've talked to about this and you're not used to speaking about this with anybody. And that's someone who you have a lot invested in. Like, you want her to accept you so badly that it's easier to just hide the parts of you that you're afraid she won't accept. But you didn't give in to fear. You chose courage and you opened up, and she did accept you. She does support you. Of course, she has her own feelings about it. She doesn't like you using porn, and she'll be hurt if, even after you realizing that this is not good for you or your relationship, you go back and relapse. That's natural, but she's still there with you. She supports you. That's awesome. I have a video on how to have that conversation with a lover or someone you're seeing, telling her about PIED, and I will link that in the description down below on this video. Now, you promised her that you wouldn't relapse, and you have a lot of motivation to stick to that promise. You have a lot behind that promise. You have a great desire to move toward a healthy relationship and a healthy sex life. And all that's great. Use that as fuel. But I will tell you, and I don't know if you would think of yourself as an addict, the definition of addiction that I use, so you know, is something you've been doing, whether it's a behavior or a substance, you've realized has caused significant harm in your life. And you've decided that you are going to stop or reduce the use of that thing. And over a period of 6 months or more, you've been unable to do that. You've been breaking those promises to yourself. And if you're an addict, promising yourself that you're never going to relapse is not necessarily a promise that you're capable of keeping. Like, I could promise myself that that the American economy is going to continue in a bull market forever, but it's not a promise that I'm capable of affecting in the world. And it's not quite that bad. You have more control over your own actions, even as an addict, than I have over the economy of a whole country. But as an addict, it's characterized by that loss of control. And so do whatever you need to, learn all the skills that you can, get the support systems in your life, like joining up with the support and discussion group that I run, link down below in the description, in order to ensure that you can and you will keep that promise. And if you do relapse, I hope that you're able to forgive yourself, but also take it seriously and take it as a sign that you can't just keep trying the same things that you've been trying. You have to take it to the next level. You have to try new actions in order to get new results. Find more support. Find more information and guidance about how to build a sustainable porn-free life, like all the resources that I offer. But I hope you never run into that, and you never do relapse, and you ride off into the sunset with your lady. It wasn't until about a week ago that I've been able to maintain erections and have intercourse. When it finally happened, we were overjoyed. We've been able to have sex 3 times since then. Being in better shape has also led to significantly better sex. I don't get tired on top. This journey has built a lot of trust and brought us close together. She's been great, and I couldn't have asked for a better person to go through this with. Thank you, Noah, and thank you to my girlfriend. I feel hopeless and worthless in the flatline, and now I felt hopeless and worthless in the flatline, and now I've never felt better. Well, thank you for writing to me, sharing this story. If anyone else out there has a story that you want to share, whether it's a story of victory and success like this or a story of struggle and challenge, feel free to send it to me, noah@coachchurch.com. A story like this one, I know it's going to inspire other people out there who are struggling with the same things and give them more of that light at the end of the tunnel that they can keep moving toward. I'll give one last word of caution. Like I said before, an addict is not always able to make that promise that they'll never relapse again. And I've seen people be a year porn-free, 2 years porn-free, overcome their porn-induced sexual dysfunctions, get into healthy relationships, and then open that door back to porn again. Could be because their relationship ended, they're feeling lonely, they're despairing, they're looking for some comfort, or it could just be that they've gotten complacent and think, I wonder, what new content is out there. It's been so long, I'm sure it'd be okay if I just look at it once or just a couple times a month. But if you're an addict, you can't moderate what happens when you open that door. It's extremely difficult to close that door again or to keep it open just a crack. In all likelihood, if you crack open that door, boom, it's going to slam open in your face, and you're going to face all the problems that you worked so hard to get away from all over again.